Hello children, I am Archana. Welcome to my channel Classroom for Class 10th. Today we are going to start a new lesson from part A of our social studies. Now there is a question children. What are the basic things to survive for a human being? So children, again I am repeating the question. What are the basic things to survive for a human being? You will naturally tell me food, clothing and shelter. These are the three things to survive. But among those three things, what is the most important? What is the most first and foremost important thing to survive? You will say food. Food is the first and foremost thing to survive for a human being. So it is very important that all the people, whether rich or poor, farmers or non-farmers, they all should have access to food. So now I think you have understood children. I am talking about food security. That is the title of our today's explanation. Now people will die of starvation and hunger if there is no food. If there is scarcity of food, then there is starvation. A scarcity of food occurs when there is famine. Famine means less rainfall. In some years, if there is a very less rainfall, the crops can't grow. This situation is called famine. But famine does not happen in every part of the country. It occurs in some parts, in certain areas in a year. The other parts of the country may have good rainfall and good yield. What is meant by yield? Production. Production and harvest of food crops is called yield. So, if the arrangement is good, then the people will suffer less due to better supply of grains from the other region. This is called food security. Availability of food to all human beings, whether in any adverse situation like famine and flood, if food is supplied properly to that particular region is called food security. Just as we have social security children, like health security, in the same way people should have food security. For food security, the country must have increasing food grains production. So, a country should be self-dependent in the matter of food grain. If there is sufficient food grains in a country, then there should be availability of food grains. Everybody should get food grains, irrespective of rich or poor. The poor people should have access to grains through various schemes of the government. They should get it at subsidized rate. You will ask me naturally what is meant by subsidized? Like at less cost. The poor people, those who can't afford money to buy food grains, then they should get food grains at a cheaper rate compared to the other people. The country should know how much food grains is needed for the whole year. It should be calculated. A country should know how much food grains is needed for the whole year. Then only the government can supply food grains to the needy people, no children. So it should be calculated. What is the availability of food grains and how much is the need of food grains per person per day. That should also be calculated. Nowadays, people are very much aware of balanced diet. That is, our food should consist of all the vitamins, proteins, carbohydrate and minerals. So, they prefer fruits, vegetables, meat, eggs, milk rather than only rice and wheat. So, farmers also go on for crop diversification to increase their income. What is crop diversification? They change the pattern of cultivation and food production. Instead of cultivating only rice and wheat, they are switching to cultivate fruits and vegetables, because there are many buyers in the market who prefer fruits and vegetables in place of only rice and wheat. In this way, they can increase their income also, farmers. One more thing children, nowadays our country is a welfare state. So, the government is committed to everyone for their access to minimum food for requirement. The rural people should get 2400 kilocalories, whereas an urban people needs 2100 kilocalorie. This is the minimum need of calories. What is calorie, children? It is the unit of energy. How we get energy? When we take food, it is digested and we get energy to work. That energy is measured in calorie. So always committed for the basic needs of the people. So the government time to time they start some schemes like ration shops, midday meal, Anganwadi, and integrated child development scheme. These are the schemes which are adopted by the government. So children, this is the theme of our today's chapter, food security. Now before going to explain the topic wise of this chapter, food security, we should understand some keywords. If you can understand the keywords, then we can easily understand the chapter, what the chapter is going to tell us. So let us see all those keywords what are given in our chapter food security. Now see these hard words, children. Keywords, I can say famine. What is meant by famine? Famine means the situation when there is a very less rainfall and there is a very less production and less yield for the food crops, and there is a acute scarcity of food grains for the people. That situation is called famine. Another is starvation. What is meant by starvation? People are not getting food and they remain hungry for many days and they die of hunger. That is called starvation. Famine results in starvation. Subsidized. SUBSIDISED. Subsidized means getting food grains at a less price. Production. PRODUCTION. Production means to produce something like food grains or other things is called production. Availability. AVAILABILITY. Availability means getting, procure. That is called availability. When the food grains are there in the market, when the farmers are able to produce food grains, then there is a availability of food grains for all the people. Availability means to get. Yield. YIELD. Yield means production. Drought. DRAUGST. Drought means very less rainfall and dry situation when the crops can't grow. That is called drought. When there is a drought, then it will result in famine, and when there is a famine, there is a starvation. So here is the word drought resistant. Means some crops like millets, like ragi, bajra, jowar, these crops are drought resistant. They can grow even in a very less rainfall, even in a very dry season. These crops are called drought resistant. 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 Another word we have got, water harvesting. Water harvesting means we can't harvest water like a food crops, but we can store water. We are getting a good rainfall in the monsoon season. After we have to store the water which we get during the monsoon season. That storing of water is called water harvesting. Crop rotation. That is very important for the fertility of the soil. When we go on producing only rice and wheat for a long period of time on a particular area, the fertility of soil degrades. So the farmers change, and after 2 or 3 years, in place of paddy and wheat, the farmers grow other crops like pulses and millets. This is called crop rotation. Depleted means vanished. When we overuse natural resources like water and we draw a lot of water from underground for the cultivation of certain crops like paddy and wheat, which needs a lot of water, then the water vanishes from underground. That situation is called depletion of water. So this word is depleted. DEPLETED. Now we have some more hard words or keywords. Let us see. Intensive. Now see this, children. INTENSIVE. Intensive means putting a lot of pressure. Unsustainable. 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 Unsustainable means which can't sustain, which can't remain, which can't continue for a long period of time. So I am giving you example. Nowadays farmers are putting a lot of pressure on the cultivation of paddy and wheat, because these grains have a lot of demand in the market, and these grains are requiring a lot of water, lot of irrigation. So this is called very intensive farming done by the farmers. So if the farmers are doing a lot of pressure on the soil and extracting a lot of water for the production of certain crops, then there will be unsustainable development. Then this type of cultivation can't remain for a long period of time. In the long run, we will have no water, and the soil also become very unfertile for any crops to grow. Another word is degradation, becoming very bad in quality. Degradation, degradation. When we overuse the soil for the production of certain crops, the soil fertility will decline, and this is called degradation of soil. Consumption, what we eat, what we need to consume, this is called consumption. Our consumption is rice, wheat, dal, fruits, vegetables, all these things we consume. That is called consumption. CONSUMPTION. Balanced diet means the food which contains all the vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbohydrate. That type of food is called balanced. BALANCED, balanced. DIET, diet. Diet means food. Balanced means which contain everything. Crop diversification, just now I have explained you. So changing the pattern of cultivation, that is switching from cultivating rice and wheat towards fruits and vegetables, is called diversification. It's change. Crop, DIVERSIFICATION, diversification. Policy dilemma, this word also will come to know in this chapter. Policy dilemma, POLICY, policy, DILEMMA, dilemma. Means certain policy which the government is adopting and which is not working out, which creates some problem. This is called dilemma. Means we are in a fix. What the purpose we are going to achieve by the policy, we are not going to achieve. That is called dilemma. I will give. Now there are some abbreviation given in this chapter. PDS. PDS is public distribution system. We have some ration shops which are giving food to the poor people at a low cost, at a subsidized rate. So this scheme is called public distribution system. This is a scheme taken by the government. Now there is another abbreviation, MSP, minimum support price. The farmers are doing cultivation or producing food crops. So these food crops should be sold at a certain rate in the market. Below NIN. What is the full form of NIN? National Institute of Nutrition. This is an institute which calculate our food contains all the vitamins or minerals or not, whether the people are nourished by the food which they are getting. This institute is called NIN, National Institute of Nutrition. Now children, let us discuss these topics which are given in this chapter, food security. This topic is food security for the country. Increasing food grains production. How the people will get food security? When there is a sufficient production of food grains in the market. So producing sufficient amount of food grains, that is only the solution for food security for the whole country. So the farmers should get inputs for production. The government should help the farmers with seeds, fertilizers and irrigation facility. In this way, if the farmers are getting inputs from the government, they can produce sufficient amount of food grains. And there should be a sustainable development. If we want self-dependent India to be in the matter of food grains, then there should be a judicious use of water and other natural resources. We should not go on drawing water from underground for the irrigation of these crops like paddy and wheat, because they need a lot of water. So in place of producing only paddy and wheat, the farmers should concentrate on producing resistant food crops like millets, jowar, bajra, ragi. These crops are taking less amount of water, so the farmer should concentrate on producing these things also. Now we have another topic, availability of food grains. Only increased food grains production is not sufficient. There should be access to food grains for all the people. First, we should calculate per year how much food grains are produced. Availability of food grains for the year. How we should calculate this? Production of food grains in a particular year. How much food grains are produced in a year? This should be production minus seed, feed and wastage. How much the farmers are producing food grains, all are not utilized. From this produce, they keep some amount for seed for the next year. Some food grains are kept for the animals for feed and some are wastage. So in the total production, we have to minus seed, feed and wastage. Plus net inputs. Government is also importing some food grains. So, and they are also exporting. So imports, we should subtract export from the import. Then we'll get net imports. Minus change in stock with the government. What is the change in stock? That is closing stock at the year end minus opening stock at the beginning. Then we will get the availability of food grains for the whole year. So what is the availability of food grains for the whole year? We should calculate like production of food grains, how much food grains are produced, plus net imports, how much government is importing, and we subtract the change in stock. The government is also keeping some food grains for the next year, and the remaining food grains which we have from the previous year, that we should bring in the market. The government is bringing the old stock in the market and keeping the new stock for the next year. That is called change in stock with the government. So this is the availability of food grains for the year. Now another thing, availability of food grains per person per day. That is very important. A person, how much food grains a person need every day. Then we can calculate for the whole year. So how we should calculate this? Availability of food grains for the year divided by total population and divided by 365. Then we will get each day a person's need for food grains. So we have another topic, availability of other food items. What is meant by other food items? Instead of only paddy and wheat, the people should also eat other food items like milk, meat, fruit, vegetables, eggs and fishes. These food items contain a lot of minerals and vitamins. And if these are included in our diet, then our diet will be called balanced diet. I have told you what is meant by balanced diet. If a diet or a food contains all the vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbohydrates and vitamins, this type of food is called balanced diet. So people prefer for balanced diet. Only taking staple food is not enough. They can understand that other food items like meat, milk, vegetables, fruits, these foods should be included in our diet. So the farmers are also going to change their production and cultivation pattern. This is called crop diversification. They are switching to cultivate and produce other things like fruits, vegetables. They rear animals for milk and meat. They keep poultry farm. In this way, they increase their income also, and the people will get balanced food diet in their food. Every person in India should eat 300 grams of vegetables and 100 grams of fruits in a day, whereas per person availability of these food materials is only 180 and 58 grams respectively. Similarly, per person requirement of egg is 180, whereas the availability of egg is only 30. The meat dietary requirement are 11 kilogram per year, whereas the per person availability is only 3.2 kilograms. We require 300 milliliters of milk, whereas per person availability is only 210 milliliter a day. So though the government is concentrating a lot on other food items, yet it is not sufficient for all the people to have a balanced diet. Now we have another topic, access to food. What is meant by access? Access means reach. Everybody should get good food and balanced food. How they will get? How they have access? How they have reach towards the food which is produced in our country? In our textbook, children, a standard of 2100 kilocalorie per day in urban areas and 2400 kilocalories in rural areas is the recommended food intake per day. The people living in the rural areas, they do hard work compared to the urban people, so they need more calories. So the survey tells between 1983 to 2004, the consumption of calorie has gone down. So though there is a lot of food production in the country, still the access to food is not enough for all the people. They are not getting the required amount of calories, and this is shocking since we have seen our economy is growing at a rapid rate. So all the people should have reach to a good food and balanced diet. And we can see in bottom quarter means very poor people. They are coming in the bottom quarter and they are 25%. They are getting only 1624 kilocalorie, and required amount is 2400 kilocalorie, but they are getting only 1624. Second quarter means poor people, those who are not very poor but they are poor, they are getting only 1900 kilocalorie. Now third quarter, who are average, neither they are rich nor they are poor, they are getting 2143 kilocalorie of food. And top quarter, which are only 25%, they are rich, they are getting 2521 kilocalorie. Thus we can see that the poor people who do a lot of hard work, they are getting very less kilocalorie, that is 1624, and poor people, they are getting only 1900 kilocalorie. Average people, they are getting 2143 kilocalorie, and rich people in the rural areas, they are getting 2521 kilocalorie. Public distribution system, PDS. What is meant by public distribution system? Means all the people, everyone, whether rich or poor, they should get food grains, a sufficient amount of food grains to survive. And the government should adopt some schemes that should avail all the people the required amount of food grains. So if we read this topic, children, we will find out that there are ration shops which are giving food to the poor people as a subsidized rate. If we see graph 4 in our textbook, the number of states given in our 28% people are getting wheat, all India, and rice 39% people are getting rice from the PDS, in which in all the states Tamil Nadu is getting the highest amount of rice from PDS, that is 91%. All the people are getting rice from the PDS, from the ration shop. Andhra Pradesh, 84% people are getting from the PDS system. Assam, 30% people are getting rice from the ration shop. West Bengal, 26% they are getting rice. And Bihar, only 13%, only poor people, those who are very poor, they are getting wheat from the ration shop, because the government have started a scheme, and they have started a system. They can identify the very poor people, and they are only getting a card. Gujarat, they are also getting wheat. Only 35% of people, poor people, are getting wheat. Maharashtra, they are getting rice. 47% of people are getting. And Rajasthan, they are getting wheat from the ration shop. 18% of people are there. And Punjab, they are also getting wheat from the ration shop. That is 24% of people are getting. So when we see all these states and compare them, we can see the South Indian states like Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, they are getting rice from the ration shops at a very subsidized rate. That is almost all the people. Now children, we have another topic, nutrition status. What is the nutrition status? Status means condition of our diet which we take every day. Our diet should contain all these things like carbohydrate, which gives energy, and wheat, rice, ragi, jowar, oil and sugar. These food grains contain carbohydrate. Protein, that is very important. It helps growth and regenerate the body tissue, and it is present in dal, meat, egg, rice and wheat. Vitamins that provide protection and ensure the working of many vital systems of the body through foods such as fruits, leafy vegetable, sprouts, unpolished rice, etc. Minerals are also very important, that are required in small quantity for many important functions such as iron for blood formation. This is provided through green leafy vegetables, ragi, etc. So if all these things are present in our diet, then our diet will be called balanced diet. But it is very shocking, all the people, they don't have access to such a food which contains all these important things in their diet, like carbohydrate, proteins, minerals and vitamins. So a survey conducted by the National Institute of Nutrition, Hyderabad, and across the country, many states in the country confirms the overall alarming status of nutrition in the country. That means the nutrition status of our countrymen is very less, and this results in low growth of body and mind for the people. Graph is given, children. If we visit Anganwadi, we can see that the people coming with the children, they all have this type of card. This is called x-axis. This line is showing the age of a child. Means what is whether the child is within a week or a few months old or a year old. So this line showing us the age of a child, and y-axis this is showing us the weight. So if the child's age increases, their weight should also increase. So this type of card we will see in the Anganwadi. If we visit, we can see that if the weight and height is coming in the red area, then there is a very less weight. If it is in the yellow area, then weight is less, but it can be changed. And if it is in the normal line, green line, then it is normal. We can see in our textbook, page number 155, that weight is plotted against age, and it will give a remark like underweight. If the age is not, weight is not according to the age, then it is underweight. Now if height is plotted against the age, if height is not according to the age, then it is called stunning. And when children are undernourished for a long period of time, their bone growth is affected. Such children would remain short, and their age, it is difficult to cover this. Underweight children are 45%. 45% children are underweight, and this is very shocking and alarming, and the government should do a lot of things for to overcome all this problem. And stunning, I have told, and their number is 41%. It is also very high. And if weight is plotted against height, then it is called wasting. If the weight is not according to the height, then it is called wasting. This indicates the child who has lost weight recently. If given sufficient food, she can recover this up quickly. So their percentage is 21%. So all these things should be overcome by the government by taking some steps. Now, one more word is given, children, BMI. This nutrition status among adult. Now already we have studied about the health of a child. By studying this graph, we can understand whether the child is growing properly or not. Now come to the adult. How can we measure the health of an adult? It is called BMI index. So what is BMI? Body mass index. This is the indicator for the health for adult men. And thus, children, I think you have understood what is food security. The increasing food grains production with a judicious way is the only way for the food security for our country. How all the people of a country should get food grains, the total food grains for a year, and how much is needed for a person every day. This should be calculated. We have understood what is balanced diet and what is availability of other food items instead of only staple food. We have come through access to food, how all the people should have access to food, what are the government schemes for the public distribution system, what is the nutrition status of food in our country. We have understood what is the indicator of child's growth and what is the indicator of adult men and women's health. So I think you have understood the chapter food security. Hope you have liked my video, children. Please like, subscribe and share my channel. See you in my next video with a new chapter. Till then, goodbye.